Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're gonna be doing something a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, we're creating a hyper-local newscast just for you,
okay.
focusing on Chesterfield County, Virginia.
Okay.
Imagine tuning into Brandermill local radio for the week's top headlines.
Look at
Yeah, so
local news. It's easy to get caught up in national news, but
right.
local news often has a more direct impact on our lives.
Yeah.
Let's see what's making headlines in Brandermill this week.
All right, so
Okay.
Good morning, Brandermill. This is Greg Smith here with Tanya Roberts, and it's time for This is what's happening in Chesterfield for the week of February 11th. Tanya, what's our top story today?
Thanks, Greg. Drivers, especially those around Cosby High School, need to be aware that the 30-day warning period for those new speed cameras started yesterday, February 10th.
That's right, Tanya. And remember, even if you don't have kids at Cosby, those cameras are no joke. They're part of a county-wide safety initiative.
Right.
So expect to see more popping up around school zones across Chesterfield.
And while we're on the topic of staying safe, a reminder that all county offices, courts, and libraries will be closed this coming Monday, February 17th, for President's Day.
Thanks for that reminder, Tanya. Always good to avoid an unnecessary trip. Now on to some news that will affect anyone who travels through the Lakeview and Branders Bridge Roads intersection. Tanya, what's the latest?
Well, Greg, work is starting this month on a new roundabout at that intersection. It's a big project with an expected completion date of January 2026.
Wow, January 2026. That's quite a while. Looks like our listeners will need to plan ahead and consider alternate routes. Speaking of planning ahead, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and we've got a heartwarming story for all the animal lovers out there.
Absolutely, Greg. Chesterfield County Animal Services is running a special where adoption fees are just $10 until Saturday the 15th.
That's right, folks. Just $10 for a new furry friend. Who could resist that?
Yeah.
We'll be right back after the break with more local news.
Okay.
So there you have it, a quick snapshot of what's happening in Chesterfield County this week.
What's interesting to me is how even seemingly small local news items like a roundabout construction project can have a big impact on residents' lives. Imagine the frustration of unknowingly driving into that intersection during rush hour.
Absolutely. It highlights the importance of staying connected to local news sources, but it also makes me wonder, how effective are speed cameras in reducing accidents? And are roundabouts really the solution to traffic congestion?
Those are great questions, and they deserve a deeper dive. Let's explore the research and evidence behind these traffic management strategies and see what we can uncover.
Yeah, let's do it. It's funny how we think of traffic solutions as these big, expensive infrastructure projects.
Yeah.
But sometimes something as simple as a speed camera can make a difference.
Yeah.
Do we know how effective they actually are?
There's actually a good deal of research on the effectiveness of speed cameras.
Oh, cool.
Studies have shown that they can significantly reduce speeding violations and accidents, particularly in high-risk areas like school zones.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I imagine there's also some concerns about using cameras for enforcement. What have you found in your research?
Yeah, you're right. There are definitely some concerns. Some people argue that speed cameras are more about generating revenue than improving safety.
Right.
Others worry about privacy issues.
Sure.
But the research generally supports the idea that when implemented properly, with clear signage and reasonable speed limits, speed cameras can be an effective tool for reducing accidents.
So it sounds like it's not a simple yes or no answer.
Yeah.
It depends on the context and how they're used.
Exactly. And that brings us to the roundabout at Lakeview and Branders Bridge. It's not just a matter of plopping down a circle in the middle of the intersection.
Right.
There's a lot of thought that goes into the design of a roundabout to make it both efficient and safe.
I'm curious about those design elements. What makes a roundabout different from a traditional intersection?
Well, for starters, traffic in a roundabout flows in one direction, which reduces the risk of head-on collisions. The slower speeds also give drivers more time to react and make decisions.
Yeah.
And many modern roundabouts incorporate features like pedestrian crossings, landscaping, and even public art to enhance safety and aesthetics.
You mentioned landscaping.
Yeah.
I've noticed that some roundabouts have quite elaborate landscaping. What's the purpose of that?
It's not just about beautification. Landscaping can actually serve several purposes in a roundabout.
Oh, okay.
It can help to calm traffic by creating a more visually appealing environment. It can also act as a buffer between vehicles and pedestrians, improving safety. And in some cases, it can even help to manage stormwater runoff.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So it's not just about moving cars through the intersection more quickly.
Right.
It's about creating a safer and more pleasant experience for everyone.
Precisely. And if we connect this back to the broader topic of local news, it highlights how even seemingly mundane stories about road construction can actually reveal a lot about a community's priorities and values.
That's a great point. And speaking of local news, did you come across any other headlines that caught your eye while you were researching for this deep dive?
Actually, I did. I noticed that the deadline for nominating teachers for the R.E.B. Awards for Teaching Excellence is quickly approaching. It's February 18th, just a week away.
Oh, wow.
These awards provide significant grants to teachers in Chesterfield County for professional development.
Those awards sound incredible. What kind of professional development opportunities do they fund?
They offer a wide range of opportunities. Teachers can use the grants to attend conferences, take courses, conduct research,
Wow.
or even develop new curriculum. The goal is to empower teachers to continue learning and growing in their profession.
That's fantastic. Imagine the impact those grants could have, not just on the teachers themselves,
Yeah.
but on their students as well.
It's like a ripple effect. And it all starts with someone taking the time to nominate a deserving teacher. So for any listeners out there who know a Chesterfield County Public Schools teacher who goes above and beyond, I encourage you to consider nominating them. You can make a real difference in their lives and the lives of their students.
Absolutely. What a great reminder that we all have the power to positively impact our communities.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as simple as recognizing and celebrating the hard work of others.
I completely agree. It's easy to get caught up in our own busy lives, but taking a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the efforts of those around us can go a long way.
And speaking of appreciating our communities, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the Chesterfield County Animal Services Pet Adoption Special, $10 for a new best friend.
Right.
That's an incredible deal. I'm curious, though, what are some things potential adopters should consider before bringing a new pet into their homes?
That's such an important point to raise. Adopting a pet is a big responsibility, and it's not something to be taken lightly just because of a low adoption fee. It's essential to think about factors like your lifestyle,
Right.
living space,
Yeah.
and whether you have the time and resources to provide proper care for a pet.
You're absolutely right. And it's not just about the basics like food and shelter. Pets need socialization, exercise, and mental stimulation. It's crucial to be realistic about what you can provide before making that commitment.
And don't forget the importance of researching different breeds and their specific needs.
Oh, yeah.
Some breeds are more active and require more exercise, while others are more laid back.
Right.
Matching a pet's personality and needs with your own is key to a successful adoption.
I love how this conversation has evolved from a simple news item about a pet adoption special to a deeper discussion about responsible pet ownership.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of how local news can spark important conversations and raise awareness about issues that matter in our communities.
I couldn't agree more. It's about connecting the dots between seemingly isolated events and understanding how they fit into the larger fabric of our lives. And sometimes it's about reminding ourselves that even small actions like nominating a teacher or adopting a pet can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves.
It's amazing how much we've uncovered just by looking at this week's local news in Chesterfield County.
Yeah, it really shows how much is happening right under our noses, you know?
Yeah.
We've talked about traffic safety, infrastructure projects, education initiatives, and even responsible pet ownership, all sparked by seemingly simple news items.
It makes you realize that local news isn't just about staying informed.
Right.
It's about engaging with our communities
Yeah.
and understanding the forces that shape our daily lives.
And it's about recognizing the power we have as individuals to make a difference, whether it's nominating a deserving teacher or carefully considering the responsibilities of pet ownership.
Right.
Our choices have an impact.
Speaking of impact, I'm curious about those R.E.B. awards for teaching excellence. What kind of projects have previous winners pursued with those grants?
Oh, there have been some truly inspiring projects.
Oh, well.
I came across a story about a teacher who used the grant to create an outdoor learning space for her students,
Really?
complete with a native plant garden and a weather station.
That's so cool.
Another teacher developed a program to integrate robotics into the curriculum,
Oh, wow.
giving students hands-on experience with STEM concepts.
Those sound incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that a single grant can have such a ripple effect, benefiting not just the teacher, but countless students over the years.
And it all starts with someone taking the initiative to nominate a teacher they believe in. It's a reminder that even small acts of recognition can have a profound impact.
So for anyone listening who knows a Chesterfield County Public Schools teacher who deserves recognition, don't hesitate.
Definitely.
Head over to the R.E.B. Awards website and submit a nomination before the February 18th deadline.
You might just spark a transformative experience for a teacher and their students.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive into Chesterfield County's local news, we've uncovered a valuable truth. Local news matters.
It's a window into our communities, a source of information that directly impacts our lives, and a reminder of our collective power to shape the world around us.
So the next time you're scrolling through headlines, take a moment to zoom in on your local news sources. You might be surprised by what you discover and the ways you can engage with the issues that matter most in your own backyard.
And who knows? You might even find yourself inspired to make a difference.
This is The Deep Dive, signing off. Until next time, stay curious and stay engaged with your community.